Hi, and welcome to my last pitch. Pastor Amy here. Your last pitch on the pledge campaign for 2022 that you'll see over media in this form, I think. Well, we might do these more often throughout the year. Who says the pledge campaign can only happen once a year? If we're public radio, we could have them whenever I like. In fact, that's one of the things I hear on the radio all the time these days. And it can be a little bit misleading to have a sense of how that campaign going at the same time. Because the reality is we're a large congregation, and so the budget numbers feel huge to me. But the percentage of giving per household is just dramatically different than what you would hear on like your public radio campaign. The message is essentially the same. The reality is we are going to be here, and particularly you should know, we are a healthy congregation. We are going to be here no matter what happens with the rest of this pledge campaign. The pledge campaign helps us determine as a community how we budget and how we use the funds that we have collectively decided to commit in this given year. And so it helps us know what we make decisions, but we make those decisions also together. So when we don't meet our pledge goals, it tells us that something about what we're doing is going to have to change in this upcoming year, or in one way or another. And so we won't disappear by any means, but things may be different. We might not be able to do something that we had hoped to do or that we're used to doing. But the bigger thing is that actually lots of people engage in our congregation, both as members or as friends of the church, or participate in our programming and don't give anything. We don't ask for your membership card, and we don't look up whether or not you've given or what you've given in order to participate in any of our programming. If you have a loved one who's died, if you are worried or scared, or if you or someone you care about is going through a mental health crisis, or if you need support, or someone you know needs support to get through a situation, whether it be monetarily or emotionally or spiritually, we don't check membership cards, and we're not going to check who's giving before we find a way to help and connect with that person. So in that sense, it is like those public radio spots that you're going to hear. The difference is that in order to make our budget with people giving, $10 a month or $100 a year, we would need millions of subscribers. And the truth is, it is an amazing, amazing push that we've had. Let me check our numbers. We currently have 248 families that have pledged, and it's over $1 million total that they've pledged. Our goal is to have 1.5 million, and in large part, we have a goal because we want to have a goal, and so that we can do big things. But our current budget is that in order to do all the things that we've been doing and keep things up at a safe level and be a just employer, and keep our building up, our goal really is then for 1.3 million if we're going to make sure that our staffing and our building and the minimal programming needs are met. And that means that another 102 families would have to be pledging about $2,300 a year, or $190 a month, or $48 a week. So one of the questions tonight is, do you feel like you could be one of those families? But the reality is that we're also going to get there, because 5 or 6 families will decide to pledge pledges of $10,000 a year or more. Or 25 families are going to decide to pledge $5,000 a year or more. And 75 families will pledge between $100 and $500. But honestly, so here's one of my secret hopes for this year, especially, to see what happens. And we have this medium, and we know that during COVID, we have found ways that we know that we've connected with people who aren't used to being regular pledgers, didn't know this is how a church exists. That this, we only have, this is how we exist. The vast majority of our budget comes because someone decided, oh, thank you for being here. Let me help you out with that. And so if you're seeing this, because we do not have some amazing social media campaign, that would be an entirely new budget. Like if we meet that 1.5 million goal, holy smokes, we will get a communications person, and actually that would be fantastic. But I mean, a girl can dream, right? So, but in what we're doing, we don't, if you're seeing this, it's because you're somehow connected to University Congregational. You've seen something before. It's very unlikely that you're seeing this video because we don't pay for advertising, and we know somebody you know is connected to our church, or you have seen any of our worship services or our videos, or you've connected to us through Facebook or YouTube, or somebody you know from our church has said, this is my church and it matters to you, and they've sent you this link and you've seen just a little snippet of what we could do. And I open any of you, anybody who sees this can go right now to our website at universityucc.org and click on the give button, give whatever amount you feel you can, and mark it as a pledge 2022. And you want to have bonus points, you can do that from a bank account, so none of us have to cover Visa or debit fees. That'd be awesome. Or you want major bonus points, as you'll decide to make that a monthly pledge. But I really would love to see that number of people that just decide to give something to this organization to make sure that we are able to keep doing programming and keep being a presence in the University District of Seattle to support one another in community. We are a church that, and what churches do as a local church means that when you're involved with us, you get to make community-based decisions. Even more than you think about all the things that we do as a democracy for voting each year. When you're a part of a local church, you're a part of a community that is trying to make a difference in the world every day, and a whole staff and a building and the resources to say, you want to make a difference in the world. You want to connect to God and to one another. You want to feel like that matters. We want to hear what your ideas are. We want to hear how you can connect and what you'd like to do, and help you connect to others and have an impact in your world, to make a friend, to help create and inspire a place where these friendships happen. Or maybe it's attending or being a part of one of our worship services and seeing someone participate in the art that we create as a community, the music that we're able to create as a community. It helps us give a piece of who we are in our humanity and who we are for one another. So if you are a regular, if you have been a member of our congregation, so this is not the first time you're hearing this by any means, I encourage you, it would be especially meaningful for us to hear back from you and get that pledge in the next couple, ideally the next couple days, because our budget meeting, our budget committee does meet on Sunday to make some final recommendations. And it's always hard when we don't meet our goals and we don't meet what the budget requests are. Then the budget committee needs to commit to making suggested cuts, and we're not thrilled about doing that or scrambling with that. But a lot of that depends on you and depends on how you respond to us being honest about what it costs and what it means to be a part of this community, and to bring you videos, which, oh my goodness, one of those things that we would have to cut, but I really don't want to, would be extra hours for video editing. So I don't know, you could see some more meaningful video than me just talking to you and having sleeping cats as a backdrop. Although they are delightful, they're not very active most of the time. But yeah, videographers and video editors have made a huge difference this last year, and funding to support the ability to make this medium meaningful for all of us and not just hitting record on our cameras is really meaningful. And of course, having a building that is up to code and date and as COVID safe as we can possibly make it, running, allowing and knowing that our filtration system is, which costs more to run and costs more to have the outside air, more outside air so that it's safer for the childcare programs and anybody who's in our building. Yeah, there's a lot to just helping us function as we are. So I hope you choose to participate in all of that and participate and let us know about what you care about with that. So, and whichever way your heart leads you to give, to be a part of this community and to see it moving forward, or whatever your need is, we will continue to be here for you and continue to pray for you. And our programming will always be open and affirming of all kids and families and folks who need us to be a part of this community. Thanks for your giving. And thanks if you've made it this far to the end of this video.